Hi everybody, this is Lindsay Smith with LS Photoshop Actions, and today I'm going to show you how to install the LS Play Sky clipping mask. It's pretty much a clipping mask that you're creating with this action. So you want to make sure that your action tabs is open. So click Window, Actions, mine is already checkmarked by it. And then over here in your Actions tab, we're going to go to the very far right where there's this little drop down menu. We're going to go to Load Actions. Okay, and it's just one action, just to go with just these little series of skies that I may put on for an affordable price for people, because sometimes all you need is just one sky and not a big bundle of skies. So be watching, and I'll add skies here and there to the site. Okay, so I'm going to just put it in the button mode because I prefer button mode. This top one doesn't do anything. It's just saying it's mine. So we're going to click Place a Sky. Any sky overlay will work from anybody's sky overlay. So if you click it, your color range dropper will appear. Pick all the colors of the sky that you wish for the overlay to replace. Make sure you have the dropper with the plus selected to add multiple colors. And I'll show you what I'm talking about there. Continue. Okay, so here your color range has come up. You have three droppers. You have one that doesn't have a plus or a minus symbol, and that just picks one color. So we'll go with the main, and you'll see it has changed everything in here. Now, if you keep using this, it's only going to select the one color that you choose. And you see how there's all these multiple different shades of gray and black and white throughout your sky here, and we want to select this whole sky area, not just the one tone. So I'm going to go ahead and select just this light blue, and it's pretty much selected almost your whole sky, but there's still dark shades of gray in there. So you want to select this plus, and you can either select on the image or in this box. I do it both ways. There's not really a technique to it, but we're going to select this. Make sure all the little sky sections are selected. My fuzziness is set to about 40. If you turn it down this way, it will take away from the grass, the selections that are in the grass. You go this way, all of the light areas will be selected. So we want to get as much as we can without over selecting everything below. So I'm going to say about here. Okay, so see what it did? It created a clipping mask of our sky of all the colors. This is pretty much, so now I'm just going to select Florida Skies Overlays. And I have mine set up to open up in Camera Raw every time. Yours probably will not open up like that, and that's okay. And we're just gonna down here. And you'll notice sometimes you'll have these sharp lines, and you'll also notice in her hat here, her hat was selected. So all you have to do, I've already set up a little vector mask right here on it. So you just grab your brush, make sure it is set to black since your layer mask is white, and we're going to zoom in. Let me get it to a soft brush. Okay. And you can use your bracket keys. I like to hold down Alt in my right side of my mouse, and I draw to the right and the left to make my brush bigger or smaller. Okay, and I'm just going to get that off of her hat. You can also use your bracket keys. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just preferences. Make sure that's off her hat. And then we have this harsh line here, which does not look that pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and lower my opacity to about 30%. I'm going to lower my flow to about 50. And we're just going to start painting that off that horizon, out of the bushes, out of the trees, grassy regions. And you'll see what that did. It made that line not so terrible. See. And now I do have this layer turned down to 65% originally when the action plays. If you like a little bit more vibrancy, a little more oomph to your sky, you can turn it up. Notice the sky is affecting her book. So we'll just go back in our layer mask here and we'll make sure that it's painted off. Let me turn that way up. Make sure it's painted off of our grass. And there's nothing to it. That was pretty much it. So I'm just gonna do a little trick here. I'm gonna pull up my curves layer. I love this trick. I don't talk about it a whole lot. It's not something that I can really turn into an action. I was watching one of the Piximperfect YouTube videos, and I love this. It's super easy, and it adds contrast to your image without ruining anything. So I'm going to hold my Alt key, and I'm going to drag this little arrow until my blacks show up. Pull this to the left, and this is for our whites. And I don't know if you saw, but just gave it a little bit of oomph, you know? That sounds so weird, oomph. And I also like to, I always do this to my pictures. Whether you all have it or not, you can get it actually in my shop during the July sale. I think it's $5 right now. But I use this all the time, and it's the La Touche Finale. I love it. So I'm going to play it through. I have it set to about 3 pixels, or a radius of 3, sorry. And I have set this in a little group. Opacity's at 75. You can drop it down. This is your sharpening layer. I should have labeled that, but I didn't. With your spotlight, you want to set your brush to black. And I like to have mine set about 80% and just brush it off of the subjects to give it a nice little spotlight on our subjects here. This bottom layer, I've told you to paint off your subject's skin unless you like the effect. I personally normally never like the effect, so I'm just going to go ahead and brush it off of her skin or his skin, I'm not sure. And then I always come to my vignette to make sure that my vignette is centered. Sometimes if you're doing your rule of thirds, you'll have your subject over here, and all you have to do is double click your gradient. This little box will open up, and you can drag it to the right or the left, but since the subjects are in the center, you can do that. And I'll show you before and after now that everything's ran through. Yep. Okay, so history. Here's before, and this is a stock image. This isn't my image. So before, and then after we've run everything through it, it takes such a simple photo, such a cute little photo, and it just kind of gives it that wow. But if that's not your editing, style, that's all right. You don't have to do exactly like I'm doing it, or if you like it just a smidge turned on, you can turn your opacity down. But that was mainly for the sky placer, the clipping mask that you'll be creating for your skies. And you can, again, use this sky clipping mask for pretty much any sky overlay that you've bought from any other like Greater Than Gatsby, or I'm not sure if they do sky overlays, Uplift, Florabella, any of them. You can use it with any sky overlays as long as it's an actual image overlay. You can use it with it. If you have any questions, sorry I've said like 1,000 times. I'm just trying to get all this information out there and to you, but I have the ability to forget a ton of things because I have that mom mush brain. So just let me know. If you have any questions, you can send me a ticket over at support@lsphotoshopactions.com. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to send me a message. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. Talk to you later.